So, what are we gonna do today?
I don't know. Matt, you done with that banjo review yet?
Fuck you, why don't you review something?
We're always talking about how awesome Mega Man is. Why don't we do a Mega Man game? You love that, right? Be a great way to kick off Mega February!
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that.
Well, regardless, you should review a Mega Man game. You're always talking about how awesome they are, preferably an NES one.
No, we're not doing that because all of those games have been reviewed to death. They're awesome, but I can't say anything about them that hasn't been said already.
Okay.
Whoa. You know, guys, there is one Mega Man game we can review today.
Yeah! Which Mega Man game?
Well, this one's really different, actually, because it's the only Mega Man game on the NES not made by Capcom. It's a little game called Journey To Silius.
The hell is Sunsoft?
Yeah, what gives?
Well, not too long ago, I was doing a little online browsing, and then I came across a line of text about a game that sounded very interesting. All it was a single sentence that dismissively referred to an NES game as a Sunsoft Mega Man clone. And then I thought, hold on, the same people responsible for Blaster Master and Chameleon Twist made a Mega Man clone on the NES? That sounds fucking awesome. So I got one on eBay, and without wanting to spoil too much, I purposely didn't look any further into it. The only thing I really know about this is that it was originally meant to be a Terminator game, but the license expired before they could finish it. But that's enough talking about it. I want to see what this game's all about. Well, I must say, if this game's a Mega Man clone, it certainly kicked things off the right way with a fucking awesome menu song. Capcom always did an excellent job with the soundtracks of Mega Man games, especially when it came to the NES.
But we can't call this a Mega Man game just because it has good music, so let's just get to business.
In just a second. It's a flute. This is already way more serious than Mega Man's ever been. Sunsoft was not fucking around. I mean, look at this shit. This is almost too deep for an NES game.
Well, it's safe to say the sound holds up pretty well. I bet this game's gonna be awesome.
I guess we'll find out. Right off the bat, you'll notice how the controls feel. It's a lot like the first Castlevania, meaning when you pick the controller up, a big red flag goes off in your head. But once you move around and get used to things a little bit, you'll realize that the controls are just as dependable as they are unorthodox. Fuck! Okay, well... God fucking darn it! Ah, nuts. I gotta say, this definitely feels like Mega Man on the NES.
Is this game really that hard?
Not exactly, it's just, when you see enemies for the first time, you don't really know the best way to handle them, so you're bound to take a few hits. And to make matters worse, the enemy placement can be cheap as shit. This is definitely one of those kind of games you have to memorize.
Kinda like Mega Man.
Oh, cool, look, a new weapon.
Probably one of the best things about the Mega Man series you can draw inspiration from are the unique special weapons. But before we get our hopes up too high, let's do a quick rundown as to what this game has to offer. You pick new weapons up after beating the mini-bosses that appear right before the main bosses, as opposed to Mega Man where you get new weapons after beating the Robot Masters. The default weapon is the pistol. Of course it has unlimited ammunition, and it shoots up to 3 shots on the screen at once, just like Mega Man. The shotgun fires in 3 directions and helps get those hard-to-reach places. The machine gun is pretty self-explanatory. The grenade launcher and laser seem like they do pretty much the exact same thing. They're just single shots that do a little more damage. There's no real reason to use any of the special weapons besides the homing missile. And due to the fact that all the special weapons share the same energy, your best bet's definitely to stick to the off-brand Mega Buster as often as you can.
Oh shit, it's a boss. Whoop his ass! Whoop his fucking ass, Cameron!
I thought you were good at this kind of game, you fraud.
Well, I do know how to play these kinds of games, but on the first playthroughs you're gonna die a lot no matter what. The key is to get through the levels with as much health as possible while remembering where all the cheat bullshit's at. Try to kill the bosses in the first try, but more importantly, try to remember their patterns because most likely you're not going to have full health, so it's better to know what you're doing when you try again with your health restored. And these kinds of games usually give you unlimited continues, so it's just a matter of having patience. But unlike Mega Man games, the bosses here don't really have weaknesses per se, although the special weapons do help.
Well, I'd hope so. I mean, this is a linear game.
Well, why didn't you continue?
It didn't even fucking ask me!
I think you were just too excited with your Mega Man boner that you forgot to hit continue.
It's a Sunsoft boner.
Fucking dickheads!
What?
This game only gives you 3 continues.
Well, that sucks.
Well, I guess now is a good time to give our final thoughts.
No, fuck that. I'm using an unlimited continue code.
Don't cheat. Are you kidding me? Why are you gonna cheat? What the fuck are you doing?
Fucked it up. I'm doing a code.
Why are you pressing the button so many times?
You have to press B 33 times and then start.
Oh, cool.
Well, we don't have to beat it. We already saw most of the game anyways.
No, with an opening that badass, we have to see the end. And besides, it's not like I'm using a game genie or anything. Is it too much to ask for that I'd want to be able to continue at least 9 times?
9 times.
9 times.
And I might have been a little more careful had I known I had limited continues. I mean, it's not like when you get a game over, it tells you how many you have left. Ghosts and Goblins, Ninja Gaiden, Castlevania, and Mega Man all have unlimited continues. And if this is supposed to be a Mega Man clone, why the fuck don't I have unlimited continues? So I certainly don't feel guilty about fixing the game. Making me start all over from the beginning doesn't add difficulty. It's just tedious. This is just a dirty tactic used by developers back then to trick kids into thinking their games were longer than they really were. That'd be like having your save file erased every time you get a game over. That shit wouldn't fly today. And what makes things even more annoying is not only is there not a password system, there aren't even any 1-ups in this game. Health pickups are extremely rare, and I always seem to find them when I don't even need them.
Looks like you got it for sure this time, buddy.
Frig off, you greasy pedophile. Don't worry, guys, he won't be bothering us anymore. Alright, this is it, boys.
Well, that sucks. They just recycled the same song from the first level.
Yeah, but I find it pretty fitting for the final stretch. The stage itself is really pushing it on the memorization shit, though. Although, it gets pretty easy once you waste a bunch of lives memorizing the layout, with the exception of this mysterious yellow liquid falling from the ceiling. The only way to get by it is to just kinda jump and hope for the best. And I never really understood auto-scrolling stages. Why do I have to keep going? What is it from the left side of the screen I'm supposed to be running from, my feelings? Alright, here we go, the final boss. Let's kick his motherfucking butt.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You avenged Jay's unnamed father.
There's more?
Just like Mega Man. I really hope we have at least 1 continue left.
Oh. Well, you pretty much beat it. Come on, we gotta take Bo to Little League practice anyway.
You know how much he likes watching the kids, Cameron.
No, fuck that, we're beating this.
Okay.
All right.
This is for Jay's nameless father, you son of a bitch!
Well, this is disappointing.
After that badass opening, this is the ending they give us?
Well, at least the final song is cool. They probably put more work into the intro because they knew very many people wouldn't make it to the end.
Well, that's just lazy.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? Overall, I liked this game. The controls suck at first, but once you get used to them, you learn to love it. And the gameplay's about as classic as you could get with the NES. But I could have done without the fake difficulty and repetition. But if you have the patience, getting through this game feels very rewarding, despite the mediocre ending. It's a shame nobody really talks about this game. I mean, it's not the greatest game on the NES, but geez, it's better than the Terminator game that ended up coming out in at least half the NES library. Also, after memorizing this entire game, I didn't even need to use 3 continues, so my conscience is clear. I give the game a 75,000 out of 100,000.
I'm gonna give this game a Toy Story 2 out of 3.
I give it a 19 out of 26. But I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a Mega Man clone. You said you'd review a Mega Man game.
You lied to us.
If this were a YouTube series titled Sunsoft Mega Man, it'd be very misleading.
Well, Capcom only made 7 Mega Man games for the NES, and just about all of them have been reviewed to death already.
What do you mean just about all of them?
7 games?
Well, Mega Man 7's on the Super Nintendo, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Mega Man 7's on the Super Nintendo, but 1 through 6 are on NES, and then there's the 7th one that nobody really talks about.
Why don't you review that?
You know, I suppose I could.